Hello and good evening, our beloved viewers. It's 9 p.m. You're watching on Live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. The headlines are the following: a workshop on national strategy and action plan in Addis Ababa, and the Mediterranean becomes a graveyard for migrants. Those were the top stories. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. The head of state, His Excellency Ismail Margile, expressed his warm congratulations and his wishes for greater development and prosperity to the friendly people of Uganda, commemorating these days, the anniversary of his National Day. These wishes from the head of state came in a telegram of congratulations sent this Saturday to President of Uganda. The people and the government of Djibouti also joined me in expressing their sympathy and friendship in the Ugandan brotherly nation, wrote the head of state in a message sent to his counterpart. The privileged nature of the relation of friendship and cooperation between Djibouti and Uganda are the commensurate with the natural solidarity arising from their common belonging to the same region, noted the head of the state in the same telegram. The President of the Republic also took advantage of this telegram to rejoice the convergence of views characterizing the two nations in the ways and means of talking the main challenges of the agenda in this part of the world. The head of the state, His Excellency Ismail Margile, strongly condemns the attack carried out by an army bound against our troops based in Garaptisan, Tajura Regiment, on the night of October 6. Around 2 a.m., a terrorist group called Army Fraud attacked our troops based in Garaptisan from Tajura Regiment. This gang is well known for its heinous and criminal act of terrorizing and looting the people of remote areas of the country. Despite the fact that our soldiers defended themselves violently, this attack caused the death of 7 of our soldiers, 4 wounded, and 6 missing. Reinforcement came out immediately to support these advanced units. As of now, the pursuit is ongoing. The President of the Republic affirmed that all these criminals will be prosecuted, arrested, and brought before the courts. We are continuing on the support of population of the region to let us know or provide us with any information that will allow to us to find their trace. Following yesterday's court, the General Management of ADD would like to inform its kind customer that on Friday, October 7th, at 3 p.m., a huge whirlwind of wind causes a major incident of the 23 KV line in the Adigala at the head of light in the in these huge worldwide deported conductors from the phase of the 23 the 230 kV line supplying Djibouti to the pole of the others, the line supplying the Al Sabih and Dakhel region, and they said conductors got caught on this while a distance of 23 meters separates between the conductors, and the phase closed to these two lines. The EDD team in charge of cooperation on the Ethiopian side had encounter difficulties with the contractors for sustain, and also it was thanks to the intervention of the managing director of the EDD that the line will could be put into service, and we thank them. The Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training took part in the Continental Symposium on Researches and Innovation in Education, organized by the Kids Africa 21, and this center in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, will occur on October 4 to 6, 2022. It should be noted that these center are coordinated respectively by the by this symposium made up of this conference known as the AUF and the UNESCO, UNICEF, and African Union Commission, known as MENFOP, was represented by the technical advisor to the Minister of Education, and also the executive secretary of the CSE, Ms. Ayan Osman, and the director general of technical education and training professional, Abdul Qadir Ahmed. The symposium theme was the reinventing education for better impact on learning outcomes in sub-Saharan Africa, follows the Education Transformation Summit that took place in New York in mid-October. It aims to consolidate knowledge and evidence at the national level, to pull innovation and practices, and to create synergies between education stakeholders and those in the academic world for the benefit of education system. The purpose of this symposium is to promote the use of researches result in the orientation of public education policies with a strong impact on learning. This was followed by a high-level panel discussion on innovation in teaching and learning, but also lesson learned from past experience, a panel during which 6 countries, including the Republic of Djibouti, through the MENFOP, were able to present their experiences for our country. It was the Inspector General who briefly presented the MENFOP response plan during COVID-19 in terms of continued learning. Idris Farah Habane Police Academy yesterday hosted the closing ceremony of 2 training sessions for this brigade of the National Police, and the men of the RIA, but also the main objective of this mission is to do these 2 campaigns to fight against terrorism and organized crime. This day began with the demonstrations of the skills learned during this training offered by the Italian commander. This training session, which began on the September 11, focused on arrest and criminal by the dog of the groups of brigade, and the demonstrations of an intervention in a closed environment. After the demonstration, the new director of a police academy, Commander Umar Yusuf Umar, presided over the certificate award ceremony in uh, this occasion. In his speech, the director of the academy emphasizes the need for these training courses, which are part of the fight against terrorism and crime. Commander Osman Yusuf also recalled the major roles played by DOG and the dog handlers in the detections of a drug and explosives items. It should be noted that these training courses are part of the day ended with the representation certificate and traditional family photo. The National Awareness Caravan of Civic and Patriotic Awakening of Youth to the promotion of civic and value for the participatory development reach uh, its planned last week in Tajura region, organized by the One and Indivisible Youth Movement in collaboration with the Regional Council of Tajura. This caravan aimed to promote young people aware of their rights and duties, like active, responsible, devoted to their region, to their nation, respectful of the state, its institution, respectful of the value, and voluntary committed to the development process of its region in the country. Started on September 9, it followed to uh, the observations characterized by the rise of individuality, mental and behavioral exercise, but also the tolerance, loss of patriotic and civic values, and the absence of a sense of solidarity. The meeting brought together more than 100 young people from association and allowed them to address the theme of promoting civic and patriotic value and also action in relation to the culture and peace of the national unity. It was a question of especially the installing in young people to a basic elements relating to civic duties, to clarify this concept and to stabilize the close link that exists between this value and peace in the region. And now in Ali Sabeh region, the Ali Sabeh Regional Council hosted a regional workshop to review the national biodiversity strategy and action plan. The workshop, under the leadership of the prefect of the region, Mr. Musa Aden Migene, and the president of the regional council, Mr. Sharmaki Hassan Alale, of course, address this question well, and certainly also the feature of endemic spaces of the region that faces growing pressure on the living space and water resources. Let us note that the preservation of the biodiversity is considered today as one of the challenge of the sustainable development consistently threatened by man. The protection of biodiversity has become since the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro in 1992, a common concern of for humanity and the framework of a national strategy aimed at preserving it. The Republic of Djibouti is not unaware of these challenges. Its government, through the Ministerial Department of the Environmental, has defined the preservation of the environment as a major priority in its roadmap. Awareness of the environment risk is essential to preserve our living spaces. Member of the Customs Brigade, in close collaboration with the police detachment of Ali Sabeh region, intercept a large amount of contraband cat at Galilee border. These interceptions of goods illegally introduced into the national territory are part of the action to fight against smuggling or all kind. As a reminder, every week a huge quantity of that cat not authorized to be imported and sold in national markets are seized and burned by the police in uniform mentioned above. The good sized recently on this occasion consisted of 20 collies of cat and 7 kilos, whose total weight was estimated at 3,000 cats. According to the standards procedures, in the first to the quantity was transmitted to the custom brigade and destroyed on the spot of the present head of Ali Sabih custom brigade, Muhammad Mumin Hassan, knowing that smuggling is a scourge that harms the economic of our country, and let them to know that. We have just learned with the sadness of the death of Mr. Hussein Mahabbe Wais, which occurred yesterday, Friday, at the military hospital Umar al-Bashir Sudanese Hospital. Born in 1965, the disease is the father of Djiboutian singer Ikram Hussein Mahape and brother of the MP Almi Mahape. In the late Hussein Mahape was he leave behind him uh, two widows, 8 children, including the Djiboutian singer Ikram Hussein Mahape, and 7 grandchildren. May Allah merciful welcome him in his eternal paradise. Inna Allah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Now moving on in the walls of the news, Kenyan President Ruto visit Ethiopia for bilateral meeting. Kenyan President William Ruto met with Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed on Thursday to discuss bilateral relation and bilateral cooperation and deepen economic and strategy ties between the two countries on regional issues. This is President Ruto's first visit to Ethiopia since his election. It should be recalled that Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed took part in the inauguration ceremony of President William Ruto in Nairobi on September 13, 2022. Ethiopia and Kenya are countries that have a long-standing friendship and cooperation based on mutual benefits. Discussions on the ongoing conflict in Tigray are expected to take center stage when the two leaders meet. Previously, President Ruto had asserted that his administration will play an active role in the spearheading peace talks between the region already. That African Union has hosted in high-level talks in South Africa on the conflict with the former Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta said to be among the mediators. Migration, the Mediterranean, cemetery of illegal migrants. The shipyards caused by the smugglers killed up to 500 people last week in Malta. This drama highlighted the growing flow of illegal migrants fleeing poverty and armed conflict and challenges the responsibility of this international community. Great tragedy occurred last week near Malta, according to the International Organization for Migrants, known as IOM. Up to 500 migrants are missing following the sinking of their boats. There will have been deliberately thrown off by their smugglers, according to the testimonies of two Palestinians rescued by a container ship. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.